Hey, babe, it's me. I just wanted to hear your voice. I'm scared. But knowing you're out there, it makes me feel like I can do this. I love you.
In the fall of 2012, America fell in love with a story. A college football star facing unimaginable tragedy, playing through pain with a courage that inspired millions. His name was Manti Te'o. He was 21 years old, and he was about to become the most talked about athlete in America for all the wrong reasons.
This evening, a huge story caught everyone by surprise. A love story that led to a kind of sensational hoax. The star athlete for the Notre Dame football team riveted the nation with his inspiring story of a girlfriend who had died of leukemia right before a crucial game.
His grandmother and girlfriend had both died within hours of each other. The nation watched him play through grief, through heartbreak, through loss so profound it seemed impossible to bear. We admired him. We rooted for him. We believed in him. But the girlfriend had never existed. Not her face, not her voice, not her death. She was a phantom, a digital ghost. And the person who created her? Someone Manti trusted. Someone close to him. Someone who used his faith, his loneliness, and his love as weapons. This is the story of the most elaborate catfish in American history. A story about love and lies, about identity and deception, about what happens when the person you trust most isn't even real. Laie, Hawaii, a small town on the island of Oahu, where everyone knows everyone, and faith runs deeper than the ocean. This is where Manti Te'o was born in 1991, into a tight-knit Samoan family, where God came first, family came second, and football, well, football was a close third. His parents raised him the traditional way. Respect your elders, honor your word, trust people until they give you a reason not to. In Manti's world, you didn't question faith. You didn't question love. When someone said they cared about you, you believed them. It was that simple. By the time he was in high school, Manti was special. Not just talented. Everyone in Hawaii plays football, but different. Coaches saw something in him. A work ethic that couldn't be taught. A humility that couldn't be faked. And a bone-crushing tackle that left opponents seeing stars. In 2009, he was one of the most recruited players in the country. Hundreds of scholarship offers. He could have gone anywhere, but Manti chose Notre Dame, a Catholic university in South Bend, Indiana, where faith and football are woven into the very soul of the place. It seemed like a perfect fit, but South Bend isn't Laie. Indiana isn't Hawaii. And for a kid who'd never been away from home, who'd never experienced a real winter, who suddenly found himself 4,000 miles from everything he'd ever known, college was lonely. Football practice was brutal. The academics were demanding. And the culture shock? Overwhelming. Everyone expected greatness from him. His coaches, his teammates, his family back home. But nobody asked if he was okay. Nobody asked if he needed help. Because Manti Te'o didn't complain. That wasn't who he was. So he kept his head down, worked harder, smiled for the cameras, and at night, alone in his dorm room, He did what millions of lonely college kids do. He picked up his phone and he looked for connection. November 28, 2009. Notre Dame versus Stanford. A cold, overcast day. The game was forgettable. Stanford won 45-38. But after the game, something happened that would change Manti's life forever. A cousin introduced him to someone, or at least that's what Manti thought. Her name was Lennay Kekua. She was beautiful. Long, dark hair, bright smile, mixed ethnicity, like him. She was from the West Coast, but had roots in Hawaii. She understood the culture, the pressure, what it meant to be away from home. They talked briefly, exchanged numbers, and that night, she texted him. "It was nice meeting you tonight. You too. Safe travels back to California. Talk soon?" Definitely. That's how it started. Simple, innocent. Two kids texting after a football game. But then, it grew. At first, it was casual. Good morning texts. How was practice? What are you up to? The kind of conversations you have when you're getting to know someone. But Manti and Lennay never met up again. There was always a reason. She was busy with school. He had games every weekend. They lived in different states, but that didn't matter because they had something better than physical proximity. They had time. Hours and hours of time. Late-night phone calls that stretched until 3 a.m. Text conversations that went on for days. FaceTime sessions, or so Manti thought, though the camera was always off because her connection was bad. For Manti, who was taught to show no weakness, who carried the weight of his family's dreams on his shoulders, these conversations were freedom. He could be vulnerable. He could admit he was scared. He could be something other than perfect. And Lennay, she got him. She knew exactly what to say. When he was stressed about a game, she calmed him down. When he was homesick, she reminded him why he was there. When he doubted himself, she built him back up. She was everything he needed, everything he didn't know he was missing. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. And somewhere along the way, Manti Te'o fell in love. Not with a person he could touch, not with someone he could hold, but with a voice, with words on a screen, with the idea of someone who understood him completely. Looking back, there were signs. Of course there were. They never met in person, even when they were in the same city. She never wanted to video chat. Always an excuse. No mutual friends could confirm her existence. Her Facebook profile had only a handful of photos, all seemingly taken from the same angle in the same location. But Manti didn't see those signs. Or maybe he did, but he ignored them. Because he needed her. In his world of pressure and expectations and loneliness, Lennay was the one thing that made sense. The one person who made him feel real. And besides, why would anyone lie about something like that? Who creates a fake girlfriend? What kind of person spends hours every day pretending to be someone else? It seemed impossible, absurd. So Manti did what he was taught to do. He trusted. For 3 years, Manti Te'o believed. He told his family about her. His parents heard her voice on speakerphone during family dinners. His teammates knew about Manti's girlfriend. She was real to him. and that made her real to everyone else. But then, in the spring of 2012, everything changed. Manti is in the middle of spring practice, grueling workouts designed to prepare the team for the upcoming season. His phone rings. It's Lennay. But something's wrong. Her voice is panicked, breathless. She tells him she's been in a car accident. A bad one. She's in the hospital. Broken bones, internal injuries. The doctors aren't sure if she'll make it through the night. Manti is 2,000 miles away, powerless. All he can do is stay on the phone with her. Hour after hour, he talks to her, prays with her, tells her to fight, tells her he loves her, tells her she can't leave him. And she survives, barely. But she survives. The doctors say it's a miracle. Manti believes it's because of his prayers, his faith, his love. But the relief doesn't last long, because 2 weeks later, the doctors discover something else. During her treatment for the accident, they run tests, and they find cancer. Leukemia, stage 4, aggressive, terminal. Manti's world collapses. The woman he loves, who just survived a near-fatal accident, is now fighting for her life against an enemy she can't see. And there's nothing he can do but watch and pray and hope. That summer, while his teammates are enjoying their break, Manti is living on the phone. Every spare moment, he's talking to Lennay, encouraging her, reading scripture to her, promising her that she'll beat this, that they'll be together someday, that she just has to hold on. His coaches notice he's different, quieter, more intense. He's working harder than ever, pushing his body to the limit. When they ask him why, he tells them, "I'm playing for her. She's fighting for her life. The least I can do is fight on the field." But the cancer is winning. Lennay's voice gets weaker with each call. She's in and out of consciousness. The doctors say it's only a matter of time. Manti is preparing himself for the inevitable. But he's not ready. How can you ever be ready to lose someone you love? September 11th, 2012. A date that already holds tragedy for America. And for Manti Te'o, it's about to become the worst day of his life. That morning, Manti gets a call from his father. His grandmother, Annette Santiago, the woman who helped raise him, who taught him his prayers, who was his rock, has passed away. She was 72 years old. Manti is devastated. He's supposed to practice that afternoon, but he can barely breathe. His grandmother is gone. But then, 6 hours later, his phone rings again. It's Lennay's brother, and he delivers the news that shatters what's left of Manti's world. Lennay is gone. She died that morning, the same day as his grandmother. Two of the most important women in his life, gone, within hours of each other. The odds of that are astronomical. But grief doesn't care about odds. Grief just crushes you. Manti doesn't know what to do. He's 21 years old. He's supposed to be a leader. His team needs him. But he's broken. Completely, utterly broken. So he does the only thing he knows how to do. He plays football. September 15th, 2012. 4 days after the deaths. Notre Dame versus Michigan. Under the lights at Notre Dame Stadium, Manti Te'o takes the field wearing a headband with his grandmother's initials and Lennay's. What happens next is legendary. Manti plays like a man possessed. 12 tackles, fumble recovery, interception. He's everywhere, unstoppable, relentless. The crowd chants his name. His teammates rally around him. Notre Dame wins. And after the game, when reporters ask him how he did it, Manti's answer is simple. I played for them, my grandmother, my girlfriend. They're watching over me now. I couldn't let them down. America watches that interview, and America falls in love with his courage, his faith, his heart. He's not just a football player anymore. He's a symbol of resilience, of love conquering grief, of the human spirit refusing to quit. The story spreads like wildfire. ESPN, Sports Illustrated. The Today Show. Everyone wants to talk to Manti Te'o, but there's something no one knows. Something Manti himself doesn't even realize yet. The story isn't true. Lennay Kekua, the girlfriend he mourned, the woman he loved, the reason he became a hero, never existed. And the lie is about to blow up in the most public, most humiliating way possible. The 2012 season becomes the stuff of legend. Notre Dame wins game after game. They're undefeated, ranked #1 in the country. And leading the defense is Manti Te'o, the heartbroken linebacker who plays every snap like it's his last. He's on every magazine cover, every talk show, every sports network. The narrative is irresistible. Tragic loss fuels incredible triumph. Grief transformed into greatness. And Manti, ever humble, gives credit to his grandmother and Lennay. They're his angels now, his inspiration. In November, he's invited to New York as a Heisman Trophy finalist, college football's highest individual honor. He doesn't win, but just being there cements his legacy. He's projected to be a first-round NFL draft pick. Millions of dollars await him. His future is bright. His story is perfect. Except it's not. Because while America celebrates Manti Te'o, something strange is happening behind the scenes, in the shadows. December 6, 2012, 2 months after Lennay's death, Manti is preparing for Notre Dame's championship game against Alabama. His phone rings. Unknown number. He almost doesn't answer. But something tells him to pick up, and then he hears it. A voice. Soft. Familiar. Impossible. Manti, it's me. It's Lennay. I'm alive. Manti freezes. His brain can't process what he's hearing. She's alive? But she died. He went to her funeral. No, wait, he didn't. He talked to her family. No, he didn't. He saw her body. No, he never saw any of it, because he was always 2,000 miles away. The voice on the phone is frantic, apologizing, explaining, but Manti can't hear the words. His entire reality is collapsing. Everything he believed, everything he mourned, everything he played for, it was all a lie. She tells him she faked her death, that she was in hiding, that people were after her, that she had no choice. The excuses pile up, one after another, but none of them make sense. And then she says something that makes his blood run cold. "I love you. I've always loved you. Please don't be mad." Manti hangs up. His hands are shaking. His heart is pounding. For weeks, he doesn't tell anyone. Not his family, not his coaches, not his teammates. He doesn't know what to do. Part of him is relieved. She's alive. Part of him is terrified. Nothing makes sense. And part of him, deep down, knows the truth. But he's not ready to face it yet. So he keeps playing, keeps smiling, keeps pretending everything is fine. But inside, he's dying. The championship game against Alabama becomes a nightmare. Notre Dame loses 42-14. Manti plays terribly, the worst game of his college career. And America, which loved him just weeks ago, starts to turn on him. But that's nothing compared to what's coming next.